When he thought he could take everything from her, she had the perfect comeback. What happened next left everyone speechless. Emma had worked at the firm for 5 years. Late nights, early mornings, every single project polished to absolute perfection. She was the one who always went the extra mile, who sacrificed weekends to meet deadlines, who poured her heart and soul into every task. But when the big promotion finally came, the one she had been working toward for so long, it wasn't her name on the board, it was David's, her so-called friend. The shock was like a physical blow, leaving her breathless in the empty hallway. She stared at the email notification, her reflection a blur on the dark screen, while the whispers of her colleagues seemed to echo around her. It's a hard lesson to learn that not everyone will recognize your hard work immediately. Sometimes, your journey requires more patience and resilience than you think. Have you ever been betrayed at work? Comment yes if you can relate. The truth began to unravel slowly, painfully. David hadn't just been lucky, he had been calculated. He had subtly sabotaged Emma's latest project, the very one that was meant to secure her promotion. Files went missing from the shared drive, just hours before a critical deadline. Key slides in her presentation were mysteriously edited, making her arguments look weak and disorganized. Every misstep, every stumble, was carefully orchestrated to make him look like the hero who swooped in to save the day in the eyes of management. While Emma was frantically searching for her work, her heart pounding with anxiety, David was in the boardroom, smiling confidently, accepting praise for a victory that wasn't his. It's a harsh reminder that while trust is earned, vigilance is what protects you from those who might try to take advantage of it. What would you do if someone stole your dream? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But Emma was not one to be defeated. She didn't confront David, she didn't raise her voice in anger, and she certainly didn't give up. Instead, a quiet fire ignited within her. She channeled her hurt and frustration into action. Meticulously, she began to document every single irregularity she could find. Every misplaced file, every altered document, every timeline discrepancy, she gathered the proof, creating a silent but damning record of what had really happened. And while she did that, she also started working on her own high-stakes project. Something completely new, completely hers. This wasn't just about proving David wrong, it was about proving herself right. She worked late into the night, the glow of her desk lamp a solitary beacon in the dark office. Months passed. The board, meanwhile, started to notice the glaring discrepancy between the brilliance of David's initial presentation and the mediocrity of his follow-up work. At the same time, whispers of Emma's incredible solo project began to circulate. Her diligence was impossible to ignore. It's true what they say, hard work, honesty, and perseverance will always stand out in the end, even when others try to overshadow you. Sometimes the best revenge is just massive success. Would you fight back like Emma? The quarterly review meeting arrived. The air in the conference room was thick with anticipation. David presented his lackluster updates, receiving polite but unenthusiastic nods. Then, it was Emma's turn. She walked to the front of the room, not with arrogance, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth. Her project was unveiled, and it wasn't just good, it was revolutionary. It was a game changer for the entire company. The moment she finished, a stunned silence hung in the air for a second before the room erupted in a wave of thunderous applause. Colleagues who once whispered behind her back were now on their feet, their faces filled with awe, and David, he just sat there, his face pale, the color draining from his cheeks as he realized the true consequences of his betrayal. The promotion he had stolen, the one he thought was his forever, was finally returned to its rightful owner. Because at the end of the day, actions always have consequences. Those who cheat or betray others often end up facing the ripple effects of their own choices. Justice is sweet. Have you ever witnessed someone get exactly what they deserved? But Emma's story doesn't end with revenge. She didn't stop to gloat or to watch David fall. She took her promotion, she took the lessons she had learned, and she grew stronger than ever before. She even found it in herself to forgive, not for him, but for herself. She understood that holding on to bitterness would only weigh her down. The betrayal that had once threatened to crush her spirit became the very fuel that propelled her to new heights. She learned to protect her work, to trust her instincts, and to never let anyone else define her value. And in the end, walking out of the office with her head held high, the sunlight streaming through the window, she knew that the taste of her own success was far sweeter than revenge could ever be. Forgiveness and growth are the true victories. It's about letting go of the bitterness and letting it propel you forward. If you enjoyed this story of poetic justice, please give this video a like. And for more tales that hit the heart and inspire you to rise above, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.